This week we're back in my Squarebody C10 street truck. We're going to be doing a huge upgrade to suspension and handling by installing a set of CalTrac traction bars. The truck is already lowered. It's on a Western chassis 4.6 drop. It's got a GM 10-bolt rear out back that we just got done a complete overhaul on. It's now re-geared to 373. It's got a Detroit TrueTrack locker and Moser 30 spline axle shafts. We're just having a little bit of a problem keeping the power on the ground. The first issue is wheel hop. Every time we go to do a launch from a dig or try and do a burnout, the whole truck will sometimes shake. The tires are hopping up and down. The second issue is axle wrap. So pretty much there's enough torque where not only the wheels are trying to turn, but the whole axle's trying to turn. You'll see the pinion gear shoot up towards the bed and then come right back down, and there is so much play and movement in there. So hopefully the CalTracs will solve both of these issues, tighten everything up, and give us some traction back. Let's check it out. That's wheel. Right there. That was a perfect example of the wheel hop. So this install starts by getting both leaf springs removed from the truck, and to get to this point, jacked up the truck and put the frame on jack stands. That way the axle can droop. And then I removed both shocks, removed all the U-bolts which hold the axle onto the leaf spring. Once those were off, it was just the 4 spring eye bolts that actually mount the leaf spring to the truck. Once all that's out, the leaf springs pull right out, and we're ready to press out the old bushings on the leaf spring and press in the new metal sleeve bushings that come with the CalTrac kit. Here goes nothing. This is apparently the hardest part of the whole job. I got a jack stand here in the back to hold everything. Here is the metal sleeve that came with the kit. I want to get a socket that is pretty much the same size to press out the old bushing. All right, let's see how it goes. These leaf springs are probably only like 4 years old, so hopefully the bushings aren't too far seized in there just yet. Well, how the heck? Take 2, much more solid. Or not. Take 3. What? Take 4, I think. Ooh, I think that was a good sound. There it goes, I think. Oh great, the jack's maxed out. Now my socket is stuck in there. It's a little rusty. One more. Hopefully this one doesn't fight us as much. Sweet. Got both the old bushings pressed out, and it is as bad as they say it is. Now we can press in the new metal sleeves. I got that one installed already with some grease. Grease this bushing up first. Steady. Now that we got both the new bushings pressed in there, the next step here is getting this pivot assembly onto the leaf spring. Some trimming is going to be required here. You can see the second leaf in the pack here kind of flares up at the ends, and it's wider than the first one. And this bracket won't go all the way on. That hole, it needs to line up like that so we can slip this pin into there and hold everything together. That is the case on both leaf springs. It fits okay until you get to that second leaf, and it's a little bit too wide. That one's good, no binding. So now that our pivot assemblies fit good, I threw a coat of paint on the bare metal there, and we're gonna take some grease and go on the inside of the aluminum bushing here. And we're also gonna grease the steel pin. We'll slide the assembly on, and we're gonna drive this pin. There we go. And one more time. Grease the bushing, grease the pin. Throw on the pivot assembly, and no binding on this one either. Ready to install. Coming in. Now that that's torqued down, this still is supposed to be able to move. Sweet, so we're good. we have the leaf springs reinstalled on both sides. Now we can wrestle with the axle to try and get it lined up with the center pins on the leaf spring again, get that all aligned, and then we can throw on our new bottom plates. There we go. Now that the leaf springs are aligned, get these off the frame. Nice. So this bracket will end up on the bottom of the axle, like that. We have this top plate and then 2 U-bolts. Bracket started. Directions called to grease the thread, so I got some of my ARP fastener lubricant. .100 foot-pounds is the spec. Ready to connect our rear link bars, and we're going to get some thread lube in both sides. And for our end links, we'll make sure the jam nuts are all the way up against on here, and the one up here too. And both ends will thread completely into the link bar. We're going to hold this end so it can't move, and then unthread it, make the bar longer essentially, until this hole lines up and we can get a bolt through it. Went a little too far, right about there. Now it is a little bit tighter getting the shock mounted up now, but there is just enough room. Just don't really have enough room for power tools anymore. We'll go ahead and adjust our traction bars. So we're gonna get that bushing on top just resting right against the leaf spring. Right there. And then we'll go a half turn past that, tightening it to add some preload. And then these jam nuts can get tightened. One more time on this side. So we'll lengthen it until it just touches the leaf spring, and then we'll add a half turn to lengthen it for preload. Both sides are adjusted, install complete. Look at these things. They're solid and they're just a work of art. So, install complete. We need to get the wheels and tires back on, go for a little rip, give them a test, see how things are feeling. Definitely felt a lot more responsive. I'm curious to see the axle wrap cam. Yeah, it hooks right up. See if we improved our axle hop. Oh, much better. Second gear. All right, one more. From a dig, loading the suspension a little bit. Power braking. It's like, that's just traction bars. Crazy. CalTracs work. That was a huge, noticeable difference driving. The only thing left now to do is head back to the track and get some actual data, see what kind of improvements they made on paper, on our quarter-mile times. I can't believe the power is right there on the ground. No axle wrap, no wheel hop. Crazy to think what just a simple suspension modification can do. But that is going to wrap it up for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped. Check out the Squarebody burnout shirt on jeepandjimmy.com. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.